Morning. Morning everyone, how are you doing? Hope you're all right. Thank you for joining. Oh, Michelle, you made it. Nice to see you. Morning. Oh, every single time I think I can do this without my glasses on, and every single time I realise that I can't. Shana, hello. Morning, welcome. Andrew, welcome. Andrew Meredith. Ziggy plays guitar, hello. Jasmine, Kezia. Do you know, Kezia, every single time I look at the figures, and you are just here every time, and I'm so grateful. It's so lovely to see you. Thank you. Morning, Julie. From Cat. Still haven't answered your question, have I, about worrywarts? I'm sorry. It's on my list. I will do it. How are you doing? So you are up early. So it must be the middle of the night from you if you're in California. It must be like 3 o'clock in the morning, I think. So 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe. Wow, thank you. Thank you for being here. Andrew, what's a QCH therapist? That's a good question. Let me make a note of that. I will tell you. I'll get onto that in a second. And answer your question, but I'll make a note of it so I remember. Morning, Andrew Fox. Hey, Shana, I said your name right. I'm very pleased. It matters, doesn't it? It matters. No one says my name right either. So my surname is Aris, and it's spelt like Harris without the H. And I always remember at my wedding, my mother-in-law, my dad stood up to do a speech, and he stood up and said, "Oh, it's really lovely to be, members of, Sarah's a member of the Aris family now." And my mother-in-law said, "Aris?" So I know what it's like, but oh gosh. You're a night owl. You must be, Julie. Yeah, you must be. You've got a gold star next to your name because you were here last time as well. So thank you very much for your dedication. Hello, Barbie. Hello, nice to see you. Morning, Paper Dogs. Sue. Morning. Oh dear, didn't mean to move that. Good morning, Lynn250. Lovely to have you here. I hope you're doing all right. Lynn250 is one of my moderators, so I couldn't do it without my moderators. I have the lovely Lynn250. I have Jasmine Lake. I have Vicky Hodgson. I have Zanshin, who's Barry. I have Vicky Handlebars, and they're all amazing. They work so hard to keep this a safe place, and I'm so grateful that they come along to all my lives. And I have a team so that there's always at least a couple of people here. And then at least like Vicky Handlebars, you've been on holiday, so you need a holiday sometime, don't you? So let me tell you a bit about me and what this is all about. So my name's Sarah, and I'm a QCH therapist, and Andrew asked what is QCH, so I'll tell you about that in just a second. But this live, it's from 10 till 11, and it's basically talking about anxiety, but being really supportive and positive about it, talking about the ways to help yourself. I'm open to answer any questions that you ask me. I'll do my best. Generally there tends to be quite a lot of people on the live and quite a lot of questions, so I will do my best. If you don't get your question answered, then it's not that I'm ignoring you, I promise. It's just that they fly by. I look sometimes at the screen and it says plus 99 comments, and I can't answer them all. However, if you go onto my profile, there's links to my email, and you can always message me, and I'll do my best to answer any questions that you might have. So this is a safe space, as I say. We all know what kindness and empathy and compassion looks like, and anyone who's not kind is, you just please be kind. We all have different journeys through our life, and it's about being understanding that not everyone is the same as us, but everyone who's here knows what kindness looks like. And if any of my moderators see anything that's not kind, then you'll just be muted. The mute lasts for 5 minutes, so that you it's like putting you in the naughty corner, isn't it? But if you're just horrible, if you're just mean, then you're off. So we won't have it. This is a nice place to be, hopefully. So let me get on and answer some questions. My type of therapy that I do is QCH therapy, and this is therapy that's taught by the Quest Institute in London. I am, full disclosure here, I'm the training manager at the Quest Institute now, but I've only been that for the last year or so. I trained about 7 years ago, and the Quest Institute was founded by Trevor Sylvester and his wife Bex, and they were the founders of cognitive hypnotherapy. And this is something that they've been working on and training people in for the last 22 years. And it's a framework for change, it's a talking therapy, and it's an umbrella really for all sorts of different modalities, different techniques, but all focused on helping our clients get from where they are now to where they want to be in quite a practical way. So although it's a talking therapy and we do look at what the problem is, we also look at the solution a lot, and help our clients. Well, when I say we help our clients, really we gently guide, a bit like sheepdogs, and our clients find their own way. So when you get to the end of the therapy, you have almost like a recipe book of this is how it feels to feel good in myself, and this is how I achieve it. So I hope that makes sense. If you want more info, have a look on my bio. There's links to the Quest Institute. There's my Quest Hub, QCHPA, loads and loads of free resources, because we're all about giving back to the community as best we can. So let me get on. I'll answer. I hope that answers your question, Andrew. So let me have a look at some questions. Okay. Oh gosh. I wish there was an easier way to get through the questions and have a look without... Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, so there's a few here. Okay, let's do this one first. So Neve 1101, I have an interview today and I currently can't leave my bed from anxiety. How do I get through it? Oh gosh, well, I'm sorry that you're feeling so anxious. It's really hard, isn't it? But how brilliant that you've got an interview. And I imagine that what your brain is doing is that your brain is not actually in bed. Your brain is way off in the future of today, in your interview, imagining how it can go wrong and how stupid you're going to look and how awful it's going to feel. And it feels really real when you're in that place, when your nervous system sees something as a potential threat. It takes you there and it makes you feel so grim that you do exactly what you're doing now, which is you stay in bed and you don't go to the interview because it might be dangerous, it might be threatening, it might be uncomfortable. So your nervous system's working brilliantly, isn't it? Because it is protecting you really well from something it perceives as a threat. So what can we do about that? Well, I think the thing is to take your mind to this moment now. So right now you're in bed, and so the next step is to maybe sit up in bed or maybe to get out of bed. And if you can do that, then that's brilliant, isn't it? That's all you need to be able to do right now. So ways to calm yourself down and give yourself permission to just do that, to just be in the moment. If you look at my page, there's a pinned post where I do this technique, which can be really helpful. And there's also a breathing technique. If you look, there's categories with different techniques, and there's a triangle breath, which is really simple and really easy to do. And both of those techniques you can do in times when you're stressed. They bring your brain back to here and now, and they help your nervous system understand that you're safe. So I would say to chunk the day down, and the first job, as I say, is perhaps to get out of bed. And then what could the next job be? Maybe it's to go and clean your teeth. Maybe it's to go and have a cup of tea. maybe if there's anyone else in the house with you, it's to have a chat with them and say, can you help me? I'm really struggling. I'm really anxious about the interview today. And two brains are always better than one, and perhaps that person can help you, sort of talk you down and reassure you. You're not necessarily looking for loads of advice, you're just looking for another nervous system to connect with, to help you understand it will be all right. So those small steps, giving yourself permission to do that. If you get to the interview, then that's brilliant. But if you don't, then this has been a learning curve to help yourself bring yourself to a place where the next interview you get will be easier for you to get to. So if you get to the stage where you can't get to the interview, so I don't know what time it is, but give them a ring, or email them and say, I'm really sorry. I mean, you could do that now if you wanted to, because it's 10:10. I don't know what time your appointment is, but you could just email them and say, I'm so sorry, I was really looking forward to the interview, but I've woken up and I'm feeling really, really grim and really ill, and I'd love to arrange another time. And then that gives you time, doesn't it, to work towards getting to that interview on another day. And you'll probably find that the minute you do that, your system will go, oh, and you feel all right again. So there's two options there, aren't there? There's giving yourself those step-by-step chunks to get to the interview, small steps, and there's the let's just rearrange this for another day when you're feeling more up to it. And in between that time, use some of the techniques so that it's about lifestyle, it's about just helping yourself so that your stress levels are down here rather than up here. So I hope that helps a little bit. And remember, the fact that you've got an interview is amazing. You've got 1 foot through the door, because you have all the qualifications. If they didn't look at you, and if they looked at your qualifications and they didn't want you, then they wouldn't have asked you for interview. The fact is that all you need to do, all they're looking for, is to see if you fit in their team, to see if you're the right sort of person that fits in the team. And if you are, that's brilliant. And if you're not, it's not about you. It's just that their team is a different group of people. So yeah, I hope that helps, and good luck. Let us know. Let me know. You just comment on any of my posts and I'll see. And I hope you can get there. But if you don't worry. Don't beat yourself up about it. Be kind. Okay. Job interviews are... I was going to swear then, but... job interviews are a bugger, aren't they? They're great when they go well, but we can be right there worrying about them. And it's all a learning experience, okay? No matter what happens today, it will help you with the next interview, okay? So good luck. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a little look. Welcome to everyone who's joining us. I'm just scrolling through because there's loads and loads of messages and questions, and I'm just trying to find a question to answer that I tend to be a bit general. I mean, I can obviously there's questions here. I can see there's a few things. Jason Patrick, you're asking about OCD. So yeah, I'll go with that. Let me talk about that. So OCD, I'm working with a couple of people with OCD at the moment, and it's a really difficult thing to experience, and it annoys me, and I'm sure it annoys you, Jason, when people say, oh, I'm a little bit OCD, because real OCD is so difficult to live with, and it's very, very important that you get good help. OCD UK, the website there is fantastic. They've got really, really good information on OCD UK. Loads and loads of information, how to help yourself, how just stuff. So go and have a look at that if you haven't already. And I think that it's probably something that people... I think it's you have to go and find someone who you can work with as an OCD specialist. And I I wouldn't categorise myself as an OCD specialist. I work with people who have anxiety, and lowering levels of anxiety can help with OCD, because OCD is a protective behaviour, and it will have started with the intention of helping you to have everything under control. And it's an unconscious thing. It's not a conscious thing. Consciously, that's the awful thing in so many ways, that consciously you know that the rituals that you do are not necessary and you don't want to do them, but unconsciously that's the driver that is telling you have to do this or something terrible will happen. So one of the things that you can do is to lower the levels of anxiety, because if you feel safe, then there's no need for protective behaviour. However, with OCD, even if you do that, it can be there in the background. A lot of the way that OCD is treated in this country, and I think across the world, is by using CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, and it's about recognising the difference between you and the OCD. You are not the OCD. OCD is a behaviour. You are you, with all your wonderfulness, all of your failings, all of your successes, all of your kindness, everything brilliant about you. The OCD is just something that has kind of become attached to you for the best possible intention. And it's a behaviour. So recognising whether it's a feeling or a voice or an intrusive thought that says we have to do this, we have to do this, to recognise that that's not you, that you're over here, that's the OCD. So to be able to recognise that, and then to give yourself permission to do the thing, but to delay first. So to say, I'm going to do this, I'm allowed to do this. So that takes away the sort of, if you try and go, bang, stop, I'm not allowed to do it, then the pressure that can build up can be unbearable. I'm sure you've probably experienced that. So it's about saying, I'm allowed to do this, but I'm just going to delay. So I'm going to delay, and everyone's different. So it might initially be 30 seconds, or it might be 5 minutes, or 15 or 30 minutes. Eventually you can get to a place where you can go, today is not an OCD day for me. I'm just going to delay. And tomorrow, if I feel like I have to do this, I can do it tomorrow. So that is a helpful thing to do, and to make a note of it. So when you're delaying, you're not sitting there sort of going, all right, when can I do the thing. It's more about, okay, I'm going to delay, and I'm going to go and do something creative. I'm going to do something that distracts my mind, something physical maybe, so that you have that, you're not in limbo. And a lot of the time, I say most of the time, it depends on where you are on this journey. A lot of the time, if you delay, if you go and do something active and creative, then that impulse can go away. It takes time. It really takes a long time. You'll take 2 steps forward and a step back, 2 steps forward and a step back. And that's why it's quite useful to keep a journal, to keep a diary of, the successes of, felt the need to blah, 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 delayed for 15 minutes, went for a walk, successful, came back, didn't need to do the thing, or came back, did complete the ritual, but felt good about myself that I managed to delay. So it's that sort of CBT side of stuff. It's reducing your levels of anxiety so that the levels of stress are down here, so you perhaps are not in so much of a protective state. But really fundamentally, I think it's very important to go and see a specialist in OCD. And as I say, look at OCD UK. Their website is really good. There's some good books as well. So this is if you want to understand a bit more about OCD, this is great. This is by David Adam, and this is The Man Who Couldn't Stop. So that's great, and there's loads of, in the back, there's loads of references, and there's loads, I don't know if this is the wrong way around, I've never known with TikTok, but The Man Who Couldn't Stop, David Adam. And there's loads of references in the back. So I shouldn't say this, but I mean, you could always go to the shop, couldn't you, and like take a photograph of all the references and Google them. But don't tell anyone I said that. Another one, which it's quite old, but it's actually quite useful, is this one, Brain Lock. Free Yourself from Obsessive Compulsive Behaviour. And that is by Jeffrey M. Schwartz, MD. So that's really helpful and quite informative as well. I'm just thinking, is there stuff in the back? Not so many references in the back there. But this, I found out, and I didn't even realise until I read this, that he was helped by, there's an OCD unit in Welwyn Garden City, which is where I live, and it's at the QE2 hospital. So if you're over 18, they only help over 18s, maybe have a Google of that. There's a unit you can self-refer to. So good luck. Yeah, I hope that answers your question a little bit. But I feel for you, Jason, because it's very hard. But do keep going. Do keep going. Kate Gleason, blimey, you haven't slept in 4 days. Gosh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I wonder what's going on. I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay. Obviously not okay because you haven't slept for 4 days. But I wonder what's going on in your waking hours that's making you not be able to sleep. Okay. Oh, hello, Angel Reader 111111111. Welcome to you. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to my live. It's really nice to have you. Welcome to everyone who's joining me, and thank you for all your likes and people who are following me. I'm Sarah. I'm a QCH therapist, and I'm here to answer any of your questions really on anxiety or on self-care and well-being, all the things that we can do to help really. So welcome. I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. So let's have a look. So Campbell Antics, any help on how to deal with bad anxiety and being scared of fainting and overthinking my existence? And A_Mxo, controlling nerves when you have a driving test. So those are both, I'm just writing these down so that I can put them on my YouTube. Because after these lives, what I do is I upload them to my YouTube channel, so they're all there. So, and I've started trying to list out what I talk about on particular lives, so you don't have to just watch all of them hoping that your thing comes up. So do go and have a look. The link is on my bio. So anxiety around fainting, anxiety around a driving test. So let me do the one around fainting first. So usually that will have come, if you have a fear of something happening, it usually will have come because you've had an experience. Maybe you have fainted, maybe you've seen someone faint, maybe you've felt faint in the past, even if you haven't actually passed out. And what's happened is your brain has taken a snapshot of that event and decided that that's a really dangerous thing. And it doesn't like that, so it triggers the fight or flight or freeze response, and then you can have the anxiety of the anxiety. So you're feeling anxious about it, and yeah. So what I always say is that it's about lowering your levels of anxiety, and we do that in lots of different ways. Self-care is massively important because your nervous system is scanning your environment. It's taking in about 11 million bits of information every second unconsciously. Consciously, we are conscious of about 5 to 7 bits of information every second. And so you can see, can't you, that you've got all of this stuff coming in, and if that's making a match with something that's happened with you in the past, it doesn't need to be true in this moment here. It just needs to mean that there's a match. And our nervous systems don't want to take any chances. Our nervous systems will trigger fight, flight or freeze to keep us safe, rather than spending 5 minutes going, is that really something I need to be anxious about? And that's how we survive. It's a fantastic response, but when we're being triggered every day, it can be a bit of a nightmare, can't it? So to lower our levels, self-care is great, because if we connect to the things that we love, the people that we love, the activities we love, the environment that we love, and we feel safe and present and in flow in, then we get the release of those lovely hormones that tell our systems that all is well. And if we get those messages coming to us physically, then the nervous system goes, oh, okay, we can stand down. We don't need to be in fight or flight because we're safe. So by doing those things, instead of having, if you imagine our body being like a bucket, and instead of us being up here, nearly overflowing with adrenaline and cortisol, the self-care allows that to just drain away. And so that even we might have something like, so you might have a driving test coming up, and so that will make you go ooh like this and have a bit of a raise in your anxiety. But because you're just leading a lifestyle that is as calm and as gentle and as, you know, steady as you possibly can, it's not up here. Because if you are living with, you know, chronically having your stress levels up here, all it takes, oh, thank you, that's very lovely of you. All it takes is a little thing, a thing, like a, you know, something that you're a match or a real thing that is seen as dangerous or threatening, for that to go boom, and it up, when it's up here, it's going to overflow, isn't it? And when that overflows, that's a horrible feeling, and it might be a panic attack, might be well, a panic attack and an anxiety attack are really the same thing. So it's that sense of doing those things. With fainting, oh blimey, let me just, I hope I'm not going to get hiccups. With fainting, if you have fainted in the past, then it's something that obviously, if you're prone to fainting, then go and see your doctor if you haven't already, and say, you know, I've been fainting, I've fainted, and I'm a bit worried about it. And they can, you know, look at your blood pressure, look at your blood sugars, I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I'm just saying general knowledge stuff here. But a doctor will be able to help you and make sure that there's nothing physically wrong with you. And they might say, oh, you know, you're absolutely fine. Because we can faint for various reasons. And I suppose it's about just recognising what the signs are and making yourself safe. If you do feel faint, then just sit yourself down somewhere and make sure that you're okay. And it will pass. You know, you can, depends on, you know, you might not have eaten enough, you might have, it can be all sorts of things, it might be too hot, so just take a moment to just settle, and it will feel better. But the most important thing is just to make sure you're safe, because the chances are that once you have a sit down, you cool down a bit, then you'll be able to just keep going and all will be well. So yeah, sometimes the fear of something is worse than the actual thing. Which takes me on to your driving test. So thank you for asking about driving test. I don't know if this is your first driving test or whether you've had a few driving tests and you know, not succeeded yet. And that word is important, isn't it? Yet. There's no such thing as failing, because it's all about experience. It's all about learning, and the mistakes that you might have made in previous driving tests won't happen again in the next driving test. So again, I would say to you, it's not, none of this stuff is about sort of diving in and having a really quick fix. It's about creating a lifestyle. It's about being the person who is calm and feels confident in themselves, and that's a lifelong journey for all of us. None of us are perfect. So with failure, whether it's, you know, failing an exam, failing a driving test, being afraid of failing a driving test, you know, you're either going to pass or you're going to fail. Sometimes things happen that you don't have any control over, and it's just about responding in the best way that you can. And if you're able to work on creating those nice low levels of stress hormones, then that can be helpful. In the moment, you can have a look on my page, and there's lots of coping techniques. There's breathing techniques which can be really helpful, and just practicing with your driving, having sort of mock driving tests, get your driving instructor to take you around driving test routes, so that you begin to realise, I can do this. I can do this. Tapping is really good. There's categories on tapping. So tapping is it's called EFT, emotional freedom technique, and it's brilliant for calming you down. And although you can do like a whole thing of tapping in all these different areas, you can, if you're waiting for your driving test to start, you could be doing this thing, you could be doing a triangle breath, you could just be tapping and telling yourself, even though I'm feeling really anxious about this, I know it's going to be over in half an hour, and I'm just going to do my best. That's all I can do. So this feeling that I've got, I just let it go. Just soften my muscles, soften my jaw. Just slow, steady breaths. And that sort of thing can bring you to a place where you're much calmer. And if you're calm, then you're... Did you see that? I don't know what happened there. On my screen, I suddenly had a baseball hat on. I have no idea what happened there. How bizarre. Anyway, yeah, so can you see what I mean? So good luck with your driving test. It's even if you don't pass the first time, you'll pass the second time or the fifth time. And so it's inevitable that you will pass. It's just about learning and working your way through and bringing that knowledge into yourself and practicing. So I hope that helps a bit. Good luck. Let us know if you pass your test, or when you pass your test, should I say. So controlling your nerves when you have a driving test, when you're in it, I think it's about leading up to it, because you will feel nervous. It's normal and natural to feel a bit nervous. See if you can think about being excited. So turn that, because if you're nervous or if you're excited, it's very much the same physical sensations. But when you're nervous, you're expecting something awful to happen. When you're excited, you're expecting something brilliant to happen. So if you feel that sort of adrenaline in your tummy, or sweaty hands, or just grinding your teeth or something, then if you can reframe that and go, "Oh, I'm excited about this," you'd be amazed how quickly it will go by. I know one of my lovely moderators, Jasmine Lake, she had some exams week before last, and she messaged me and said, "Oh, I think I've done really badly. I've really mucked up on my exams," and she was really felt terrible. And then last week she told us all that she'd passed them. And so how amazing is that? So just because you feel you've done really badly doesn't necessarily mean that you have. So you may well be pleasantly surprised. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Just looking through. Well, thank you for everyone being here. Oh, I hate that when that happens. It's really lovely to have you here. I'm Sarah, and I'm a QCH therapist, and I work mostly with people who have anxiety and fears about various things, maybe feel a bit stuck in their lives. So that's what we're here today, thinking about that, talking about that. So let's have a look. So user 122, and then a load of numbers. I'm in a toxic relationship and I don't know how to leave. I'm attached. It's hard, isn't it? I'm sorry to hear that. It's amazing. Well done you for being here and reaching out and asking for help. This is not an area that I'm massively knowledgeable about, but there are lots of charities, and if you Google, if you're in an abusive relationship, if you're in a toxic relationship, I would Google domestic violence charities in your area, because there will be charities. I'm not saying that you're in a violent relationship necessarily, but if it's toxic and you can't leave, then that sets off red flags, isn't it? That it is probably an abusive relationship in some way. So I would have a look at charities locally to you, because they will have helplines and they will have ways of advising you how to be able to leave. So that probably is the best thing that I could say. But I think the fact that you're beginning to create an escape plan is a really good thing. And I would maybe ask myself, what is it in a relationship that you look for? What do you want from a relationship? Is it kindness? Is it support? Is it unconditional love? Is it I don't know, all of those things and more. And if you haven't got all of those, I think that's your baseline. If you haven't got that, then that's not a good relationship to be in. If you haven't got kindness, if you haven't got love, if you haven't got the support of the person that you're with, if you're not seen and heard in that relationship, then I can tell from what you've said that probably cognitively, rationally, you know that you need to get out. Emotionally and unconsciously, your system is telling you, yeah, but I love this person, or oh yeah, but we've been through so much, and I don't know because I'm not you, and I don't know you, but it's totally understandable to have that push me pull you of emotions. So do seek help, do reach out, as I say, and I don't know if any of my moderators have got any suggestions for charities maybe that you might suggest that would be helpful. I don't have anything to hand. I'm annoyed with myself because I was thinking last night I must print out a sheet of resources so that I can have. I'm going to do that for next time, so that I've got charities that I can point you towards. So I'm sorry if that's not very helpful, but you will get there. So good luck and keep going. Keep yourself safe. I hope you're all right. Let's have a look. Yes, Tally Princess, you're absolutely right. It's so annoying that the comment went away, but you were talking about how you'd heard or read somewhere someone talked about trauma being stored in the body. You're absolutely right. It does. There's a great book, The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. It talks about that, absolutely. And that's what, I do quite a bit of work with people working with their body, really, because that's the way that we can talk and talk and talk about how awful things are, but for me, you need to actually then do something about it. You have to take action, and part of that is helping your body, connecting mind and body, so that you know that right now, here and now, you are present, you are safe. So good point. Let's have a look. So Eddie Slays, anyone have any experience in waitressing? I'm starting a new job tomorrow and I'm so nervous. Well, I think it's completely normal and natural to be nervous about starting a new job, whatever it is, whether it's waitressing, whatever. So A, congratulations getting a job, that's brilliant. B, no one expects you to be fantastic on your first day. Everyone expects you to make mistakes and probably to be pretty useless. So if you can remember that and go in there willing to learn, smiling at people, doing your best to be that person who is willing to help, willing to learn. The customers are, as a customer who goes in a restaurant, I don't care. If someone is obviously not very good, if they can't carry 1 million plates on their arm, I don't care. What I care about, and I'm sure everyone else will agree, is that you want someone who notices you when you're looking to order something, is actually looking around. You're looking for someone who is friendly and smiling and seems like they want you to be there and they want to make your experience something nice. They want someone who's going to know about the food. So when you say, what's the special today? They go, oh yeah, it's this. And you'll get better at it. Today or what did you say? Is it tomorrow? So tomorrow, Tomorrow will be probably the worst day because it will be brand new and you won't be very good. But every day after that, you can get better and better and better. And remember, they'll probably give you someone as a mentor to look after you and show you the ropes. So the anticipation of something being awful is always worse than the reality, you know? So good luck. I hope you really enjoy it, and I hope it's a great team, so you can really enjoy the experience. And that the nerves that you feel, it's just normal. And once you get in there and start doing, they'll begin to disappear, okay? You can use some of the techniques that I share. The breath techniques are good for this. Maybe you can use the tapping just to help you before you go in. But you'll be all right. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. So June Aidner. I've learned that I have body dysmorphia, but I feel therapy doesn't work. I feel hopeless. But I think it's brilliant that you've found out what's going on for you, so that's great, and that's really just the first step. So it's really about now moving forward and getting the right help. So therapy is a big term. There's lots and lots of different types of therapies. Everyone from psychologists to psychotherapists to counsellors to hypnotherapists to somatic therapists to cognitive hypnotherapists. Within counselling, there's person-centred, there's psychodynamic, there's solution-focused. There's so many different types of therapy, and what is going to help is finding the right person for you, the right therapy, the right person. So I would perhaps look at charities. If you look up body dysmorphia and have a look at perhaps charities, support groups, and look and see if anyone can recommend a therapist or a type of therapy that's been helpful for them to take them further forward on this journey than you are right now. So it can feel hopeless, it can feel that there's no hope and that it won't change, but it just means that you've not found the right therapy yet. So please keep going and have a look, and if you get some therapists, you get some suggestions from people, then send them an email, have a chat with them, and ask them the questions that you want to ask. Any therapist worth their salt will be very happy to have a free phone call or sometimes people even do a free mini session, just so that you can ask them what you need to ask and see if they're the right person for you. I've found over the years that one of the major things that really works and really helps is the relationship between therapist and client, because if you walk in a room and someone is sort of just, you don't click with them, you don't feel heard and seen by them, or they might just be a lovely person, but the therapy just isn't for you, then that can make a big difference. So yeah, don't despair. It just means you haven't found the right therapy yet, and you will be able to find it. So you take care. This is a journey, and at the moment you're at the beginning, but change absolutely can happen. So thank you for asking the question, because I'm sure you're not alone on here with having a sort of a similar struggle with other people. Angel Reader 1111, I've recently left domestic violence, so a Women's Aid is a good contact. Thank you so much. This is what I love about this community, is that someone else can ask a question and I don't really know a brilliant answer, and then someone else on the community, whether that's one of you, one of the moderators, can come up with a good answer. So I love it. I just think it's so amazing. In this world at the moment, everything is potentially so hard, isn't it, and so negative, and everyone's very polarised about it. It's a hard place to be at the moment, and if we can find a little oasis like this community where we care about one another and we're kind to one another, then it's beautiful, isn't it? So getting all soft and emotional here. But thank you for suggesting that. Yes, and Wendy, it's so lovely to see you. Wendy Warrior Man 04. Coercive control is classed as domestic violence. Definitely get in touch with the local Women's Aid. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Wendy is amazing, going through her own journey at the moment, and it is so courageous. So, you know, I think that's the thing, that people outside of relationships which are coercive, which are violent, whether that's physically or emotionally, you know, you hear people saying, but why didn't you leave? Why didn't you leave? It's not that easy, because you've been perhaps broken down to a place by that other person where it's really hard to leave. And it takes incredible courage to be able to seek help first of all, and to begin to plan that escape route. So the people like Women's Aid and DV charities they know, they've been there, and they can help. So do reach out. Thank you, Wendy, for that. That's amazing. Hi, Izzy. Nice to see you. Octavia. So Octavia 22220. I have anxiety really bad when I try to sleep. I've been up all night. Oh, so it's hard, isn't it? Lack of sleep is so difficult to deal with. And I would say look at what's going on in your day. You know, if you think about the last couple of years, we've all been through incredibly stressful and traumatic times. And so often when we get to bedtime, and we can be absolutely exhausted, and we get to needing to go to sleep, and all of a sudden our brain goes ding, and we're wide awake, and we're overthinking. And that is a big part of anxiety. And I think it makes it worse if you're really trying to get to sleep. So it's really important to look at what's going on in your day, as I was saying earlier on, about reducing the levels of stress hormones in your day. Perhaps looking at, is this an environment of which I'm in? I was talking to someone the other day, and they realised that the rest of their life was absolutely fine. They were pretty happy in their life, but their work environment was so toxic and so difficult that was the thing that was just pushing them over the edge all the time. So they've come to the conclusion that they were going to leave their job, they were going to find something else. And I think what they find is that if you leave the toxic environment, then the brain, your nervous system will go, oh, thank goodness, I'm okay now. I'm not with those awful people. I'm not in that awful job, or whatever else the environment might be. So if you can possibly, and I know that's not easy, if you can possibly look at leaving the environment, then that can help. Also, bringing self-care into your day. So the focus is not on trying to get to sleep. It's on self-care during your day. Techniques to help your nervous system understand that you're safe during your day. Perhaps creating routine so that you feel steady and secure. Andrew Huberman from the Huberman Lab does amazing. He's got some amazing sort of scientific talks about sleep and the science of sleep. And there's a good book, which is not here at the moment. It's in my bookcase upstairs. And I can't remember his name. What's his name? Can't remember. Anyway, so one of the things that can help when you're heading off to sleep can be doing a body scan. So a body scan is just when you forget about trying to get to sleep. All you're going to do is be interested in from the top of your head, just working down through all of your muscles, almost imagining. In fact, I might do one of these. I might do it so that it's just a pure body scan, and then I'll put it on my downloads. But a body scan just to like almost like you have a ray of light that's just shining on your body, just moving down your body. And as you think of each muscle, just becoming aware of it, maybe tensing it and then letting it go, letting it soften. Just working your way down through parting your teeth, softening your jaw, just allowing your muscles in your neck to soften, across your shoulders, all the way down. And that can take, it's about diverting your mind. Quite often that can be helpful to help you to fall asleep without trying to fall asleep. Also think about the fact that we have sleep pressure. So we have what's the word I'm looking for? It's sort of areas of time, like a cycle. That's the word. A cycle of time where, and it's about an hour and a half, give or take. So we go from going into sleep, rapid eye movement, REM sleep, into deep sleep, around, and then back out again, and then so we go round and round. So we have that sequence of about an hour and a half. And so as the day goes along, and we will feel as night comes, that we feel the pressure of sleep building. And you might feel sort of 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you think, oh, I feel really tired, and then you wake up a bit, and then you get to maybe 8, I don't know. So but if you think it'll be, if you notice, say at 8 o'clock in the evening, you notice that you're feeling quite tired, but it's too early to go to bed, then have a look at an hour and a half later, so 9:30, probably you'll feel that pressure again. And you might think, no, it's still too early. So then don't go to bed then, and then wait until like 11 o'clock, it'll come round again, an hour and a half. It's also about making sure that the light, so you don't have screens, don't have bright light like overhead lights, just have a darkened room, maybe a candle light. Be safe with candles. Don't know if my health and safety monitor Jasmine is here today, but be safe with candles. Don't go to sleep with candles lit. We're mimicking the falling of dusk, the falling of night. So if we're in a good, calm, safe place, and we're doing a body scan, and we're waiting for the pressure of sleep to build, and then that can make it easier. So I hope that helps a wee bit. Right, let me have a look. We've got about 10 minutes left. So let me scroll through. My apologies. I'm so sorry if I haven't answered your question. I've seen a few emails coming in with people asking questions. So if I haven't answered your question and you'd like, you really feel like you want an answer, do email me and I will work my way through them. I've got a bit of a busy weekend, so it might not be until the beginning of next week, but I'll try and do some today and some over the weekend to help you. But let me have a look and I'll stop talking and answer some more. I know, Heather, how do these hours go so fast? HMASH, they really fly by, don't they? Let's have a look. Oh, Ben Mac, thank you. I love that you like these. I love it. Thank you so much. So Peggy's, I see Lynn's talking about... Himalayan salt lamps, Wendy. They're like really nice low lights. Good. Oh gosh. Let's have a look. I'm looking for your comment, Peggy, because I can see that. So I can see you talking about therapy. Morning, Julesy. Kyrenia Kitchen. Right, you have to, everyone, go and follow Kyrenia Kitchen because she's about 50 followers away from 1,000 followers. And if she gets 1,000, she can do live cooking and she does really, really good food. So go and follow Kyrenia Kitchen, Kyrenia with a K. Because this is purely selfish that I really want to watch Julesy doing live cooking. So please go and follow her. If you look, she's commented Kyrenia Kitchen. So my pleasure. I like doing lives, and I'm so glad that you can join me from France. So Julie, you got the relaxation download as well. Julie Diva, from California. Sorry, that's terrible. And you found that good for sleep, so I'm really pleased to hear that. They're free in my profile, so on my website, go and have a look. So Peggy McPhee. So I totally get what you're saying, that you can't afford private therapy, and it's awful, isn't it? It's really, I suppose some clients have, some therapists have spaces within their client list to be able to do pro bono work. So it is worth, if you find someone that you like, it is worth approaching them and saying, listen, I can't really afford very much, and so it could be a case of, not, I know lots of people see clients every week. I don't see clients every week. I see clients every 2 weeks. So for me, that kind of makes it a bit more affordable. And I've heard therapists saying that they'll either do pro bono work every now and again, or they'll do a reduced work. When it was in the depths of COVID, I know a lot of colleagues were doing either work for free for NHS workers or work for people at a very much reduced rate. So it's worth having that conversation. Don't give up on it completely, Peggy. So I hope that helps a little bit. Let's have a look. Zuzu made it. I want to leave my country, but I'm afraid to hurt my family, especially my mum's feelings. It's hard, isn't it? It's really hard. I don't know what country you're in, but if you have to live your life. I know everyone's circumstances are different, but in these modern times, if you look at your life, and if your life in the country that you're in is really difficult, and you don't feel safe, you don't feel fulfilled, whatever it is that you're feeling, then you have every right to move away from that place. And it's, I don't know if you can talk to your family about this, and of course you will miss your family and they will miss you, but at the same time we have FaceTime, we have email, we have phones. It's not that you're never going to see or hear from them again, and maybe they can come and visit you. Maybe, I don't know. It depends on where you're coming from, doesn't it? But I don't think it's black and white. I think it's, I always talk about best case scenario and worst case scenario, and quite often it's about moving away from the worst case scenario in the best way that you can, and towards best case scenario. So look at all of these different options that you might have in between, because you can't just live your life for other people, to keep other people happy. It has to be a balance of being kind and doing our best for our loved ones, but at the same time living our own truth. That's my thoughts on it anyway, but I hope that helps. Have a think about that. So we're sort of coming to the end now, really, of the live. I've got a couple more minutes left, so I will answer another question in a second. But I just wanted to say that if you've just joined us, then if you've missed stuff, what I always do is I upload these to my YouTube, which is linked to in my bio. So you could always go and look at them, and I've started writing down on the YouTube thing exactly what's in the various lives, so that you can scroll through and think, right, so if you fancy going and subscribing to that, then they'll be coming into sort of twice a week, because I do my lives every Monday at 5 p.m. UK time, And then I also do them every Friday at 10 a.m. UK time, and they're always uploaded at some point onto my YouTube. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of the likes and all of the lovely flowers and gifts that you send. I always feel just so touched that you do that for me. It's really kind. Also, you know, if you followed me, if you've shared this, if you've sort of gone through and looked at my other social media and followed me on there, then that's really wonderful. I really appreciate it. I really am grateful that you're all here and it's just such a lovely community, and everyone, you know, chatting amongst yourselves and helping one another, because for me that's what life should be about, is helping one another in the best way that we can. None of us have got all the answers. I certainly don't have all the answers. My training only reaches a certain level, but yeah, I'm really grateful that you've been here. The next one that I'm going to do is next, what day is it today? Next Monday. This Monday coming at 5 p.m. and I'll do that on my profile so you can register. And then sometimes I do like a little reminder video, and you can set a reminder for yourself. So you're always really welcome to come. And I couldn't do any of these lives without my moderators. And my moderators are amazing people. They all they've volunteered to help me, and they give up their time to spend an hour helping and keeping this a safe place for all of us to be in. So Lynn 250, thank you. Jasmine Lake, Vicky Hodson, Zan Shin, Vicky Handlebars. I just want to thank you all, because as I say, I absolutely couldn't do this without them being here. So let me have a little look at one last question that I can answer. Yeah, love to the moderators. Thank you, Maggie Cherry. And Emma Horse Riding. Oh, I'm so glad that you've been here, and I'm glad that you've enjoyed it. Have a lovely day, you too. So let me just answer. Oh, just Tracy Williams. It's lovely to see you. I'm glad you're here. Let's see. There was one here that I saw. Oh, I've lost it. So, I don't know. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong. Do you have any advice for HSP, a highly sensitive person? So, I'm going to be brief, and I might do another one. I actually don't, I'm afraid, but my friend and colleague Lucinda Leo works specifically in this area. So if you were to Google her name, Lucinda Leo, Leo therapy, I think that'll probably get you to her. She's amazing. She has specialised in this area of working with highly sensitive people, and she's got a great website. She does talks. She does all sorts of stuff. So do go and have a look at her, and she'll be able to help you more than I can at the moment. So I hope that's a bit helpful for you. Let's have a look. Yeah, and Wendy Warrior Man says, you know, that she struggles but she's better equipped now. And I think I'm going to sort of comment on this really, rather than answer a last question, because I've followed Wendy really right from the start of being on TikTok, and she's absolutely right, because Wendy, you know, Wendy is incredibly courageous and is going through some really difficult stuff, and she's absolutely right that we're on a journey through life. None of us are perfect. None of us have got all the answers, and so what's so important is having the courage to reach out and ask for help, and whether that's from the people around you or from strangers. You know, like me, I'm a stranger to most of you, to your doctor, to a therapist, to a charity. That's the first step, and it can feel really hard to do and it can feel scary, but that's the first thing. And if you can take that first step and reach out for help, then that's the thing that can begin to take you along your journey. And so right now you might be in a place where life is very, very difficult, and yet as you move along through your journey, especially if you work with a therapist, if you work with a charity, then you will become better equipped to deal with what happens in your life. So even though life might not be perfect still, you can get to a place where you understand that you're beginning to be triggered perhaps, and you've got coping techniques to be able to help yourself in that moment, or you have a supportive group of people around you that you can reach out to get help from. So everyone who's here, hopefully everyone who's here today, you're all interested in mental well-being, you're interested in finding out more about anxiety and fears and the things that you're going through in your lives, and that's the first step, isn't it? That's an amazing thing. And I think you can see that there's been so many people here today, and so we're not alone, are we? We all go through life, and sometimes life goes along really nicely, and that's amazing, but often life just throws us stuff which is really, really hard to cope with, and it can feel almost impossible to go on sometimes. But there will always be a solution if we reach out and ask for help, even if it's about making yourself as comfortable as possible in the discomfort. So if you're struggling right now, please reach out for help, and thank you for being here, really. Hopefully I'll see you again on Monday at 5 o'clock. So I'm going to say cheerio. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your Friday. I hope that you have a lovely weekend. Do go and have a little look on my links to my website and various loads and loads of resources. My Quest Hub has got loads of resources. There's a therapist finder if you're looking for a therapist, all sorts of people. Currently I do have a bit of a waiting list, so I kind of try and direct people to the therapist finder, because there's other people there which are really good, that can be really helpful. Thank you, as I say, thank you to my moderators. I really appreciate your time and energy and care that you spend here. So have a lovely weekend, and I will see you soon. Take care. I'm just going to look at the comments now a bit. Just to say hello to anyone I've not said hello to. So, P-Bird Girl. Oh my goodness. Sleep well, 3 a.m. with you. I'm so impressed. You and Julie Diva here from the States and staying up late for it. You totally get gold stars. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Michelle Kitch. So lovely. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for thanking the moderators too. That's really lovely. Thank you, Ben Mac1. My pleasure. Lovely to see you here. Thank you, Just Tracy Williams. I hope you have a lovely day too. Let's see. Kezia, bless you. So lovely to see you again. You take care. Thank you for being here. I think you've got to be one of my top supporters, and I just love it. I love seeing you here. Thank you. Morning, William. Thank you for being here. It's kind of ending now, I'm afraid, but cheerio, Wendy. Lovely to see you. Shillito 6. Thank you for being here. So, yeah, first visit as a healthcare worker, and you found it informative. Oh, good. I hope in a good way. I hope you didn't think, oh, no. Oh, Binky. Nice to see you. You take care. Have a lovely weekend. Emma Horse Riding. You take care. Never forever. Lovely to see you. You take care. Cheerio, Heather. Have a nice weekend. Kayla Jane from New Zealand. You take care. Have a lovely weekend, won't you? Honomu 3, have a lovely day. Okay, I'm going to go. Oh, thank you, Bag Bones. You sent me roses. That's a lovely way, isn't it? Oh, bonjour from France. Right, I must go. Sorry, but it's lovely seeing all these messages, but I really must go, and I must let you get on with the rest of your Friday. Hopefully see you on Monday. You take care. Bye-bye.